Welcome to it. That's why we drink. Where we just talk about all of the holes that.
I mean, orifice is good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holes is
it's a choice.
Feels like slang at this point. If you're talking about orifices.
Holes the movie came on TV yesterday, and I went, "Oh, Leona, I used to like this movie." And then I went, "I don't know yet if this is something I like. I haven't watched it in so many years that I'm like, it holds such a special place in my heart."
And she's like, okay.
I mean, I just was like, maybe not. It's like, maybe it's too old for you. I don't remember if it holds up. I don't remember, but I fucking loved that movie.
I think it certainly holds up.
And the book. That book, man. Oh boy, what an adventure. Am I right, folks?
Yeah. That's what they all said in unison to you across the globe.
I'm so glad to hear that. It is like talking into the void, isn't it?
Yeah. Welcome to 400 episodes in. I'm so glad we're
Oops.
We're finally aware and sentient to this.
We've reached the singularity amongst ourselves.
Oh, Christine, how are you? I like your shirt. Tired Moms. I'm assuming Tired Moms Club.
That's exactly right. Thank you. I wear this every time I travel because sometimes like people can get kind of extra bitchy at the airport, and sometimes they'll just like look at my shirt and go, "Oh yeah, me too." Like, like I'm like, can we just all be a little bit gentler with each other, please? It's my travel shirt for that reason. I'm doing well, thank you. I was a little late to recording.
I was late to recording. We both were, I guess.
Well, you were late, and then I was late, and I said, "You'll see. You'll know what it means." And
horrifying.
It's the reason I drink.
What's happening?
My newest acquisition has arrived.
It's a fucking Labubu.
No.
Oh, okay.
That would be fun.
I thought we were doing an unboxing or something.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be really fun. Don't get anyone's hopes up. It is an unboxing of sorts. I received a series of about.
I want to leave.
This was like, I think a few nights ago. I was of course on my favorite what do you call it? Estate sale site.
You don't even do it in real life. This is a digital thrift shop.
Oh, this is a digital thrift. Yeah, digital estate sale.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just like swung by, got my hands on these bad boys, but the thing is, like, nobody was bidding on them, and it was like, I like how I say that. Like, can you believe it? And
you're the only one shocked. And for those, by the way, who are just listening, Christine has accumulated even more old as shit pictures of people who are certainly no longer living.
Okay, I'm gonna actually turn the camera down. Okay.
Okay.
This is my acquisition, and I like photos. Like, if I go to like an antique store and I like look at this, sometimes I'll be like, this is like $5 or $3 or whatever, like for an old photo. I paid, I think, $31 for several photo albums.
Oh my God, truly albums. And
hundreds of photos, like cards. Like I always love to collect these like vintage cards too. Like this one, it looks like murder handwriting, "To my darling."
Yeah, that is something that you wake up to in a basement. It's just in ransom letters.
It sounds like a Criminal Minds episode. Hold on, here we go. February 14th, 1911.
Oh.
Dear little Dorothy, with best wishes from yours truly, cousins Frederick and Louisa.
Precious.
Oh, and then Frederick wrote, "I made my initials myself."
Oh.
I told you, it's cute.
I poo-poo on this often, and I'll continue to do so. But I do,
I don't plan on stopping.
But I do see what's happening. Like I'm not totally blind to like what
look
is
at this.
endearing
This is
about
cool.
it. Yeah, that's awesome. It's, horrifying from a paranormal
Wait till
perspective.
I open it. I think, I know we always say this, but like, I think in the Yappy Hour, oh my God, look at these bad bitches.
It's like an album cover.
It really is. Yeah, I just like, I don't know. Remember that time when we went through that one album, we found that whole family tree?
Yeah. That's dope. No, for reasons like that, I think it's super cool. Like, I get it. I really do get it, but I just couldn't, because I just am so aware of everything I'd be inviting in.
You are correct, because every time I go pick something up there, they're like, Oh, we were wondering who bought that. I'm
Yeah,
always like, "That should be
something's
a
a
red
little
flag."
screwy in there. Yeah.
Oh god, and some of them are just, like, kind of half albums and stuff, and I just, like I don't know, I bought all the, like, a lot of people had recommended different brands of, like, archival storage and stuff, so
Mm.
I've bought a lot of the materials to do that, I just need to kinda organize a little better. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just kinda fun to look through, and then it's also a very good, like, coffee table book when people come over.
Mm.
You're like, I don't believe you."
No, no, no. And I will say, on behalf of the people that are in these photo albums, like you're probably making them so happy to know that it's just not like,
I
not
hope
in
so.
a garbage can somewhere. But
Well, because it was like
um,
$30 and I was like, "Who what? $30?" And no one else bid on it. I was like bidding on it and nobody else added to the bid and I was like, I mean, okay, if nobody really wants these, like I don't want them to get trashed, like you said.
yeah, I do. I think the way that my hyperfixations seem to present themselves these days is like I want to collect something like that with the intent of like solving the riddle of like who are
Yeah.
these people. And I
No,
think
I get that.
and I would just be mad that there's just a pile of people that I don't know anything about and I can't solve it and then I can't present it. I don't know. I in my head I want to do something with them and I would
Mm.
just constantly
I,
feel like I dead-ended myself.
I just think like I don't know. Sometimes I just like flip through them and like think I don't know,
Do,
read them.
do you have a favorite of all that you've or have
I
you not
no, I
even looked through it yet?
just I have not even looked through it.
That's
So I was
crazy.
thinking maybe in the Yappy Hour I can read you one of these letters from 1911.
Yeah, I so far, I mean, that was a good one to just stumble upon in front of all of us with
I know.
Frederick's little
I'm like, let's
initials.
put the rest behind a paywall just in case. I don't know what the rest of these say. 1911, over 100 years ago.
That's
Nobody knows.
crazy.
Yeah. So maybe we can look at this. Wow, that's from Minnesota. Like, it's so random. Like, how did this end up? Anyway, so yeah, maybe in the Yap here we can like look through for fun.
So
I'll read
cute.
you some of the special ones.
Yeah, no, I would like that. Maybe we
Cool.
can solve a riddle. I don't know. We'll
Oh
see.
yeah, maybe we can finally solve the big mystery.
The big mystery of
Uh,
who are all these people?
well, we did it with the other one. That was pretty cool. I was
Yeah.
impressed that we figured that out pretty quickly.
We're like Mary-Kate and Ashley is like a detective agency.
Oh my god, yes, but just like in the digital era, you know?
Yeah, but with very non-digital pieces of photographs.
Oh, right. Also that. Also the Victorian era.
Well,
Anyway, why do you drink? Because that's why I drink this
that's a
week.
great reason to drink.
Thank you.
I
And I'm
drink.
drinking water because I'm like so boring.
Okay. At least we know ourselves.
Hmm.
I was gonna drink water and then I feared the boredom or the perception of boredom. And
Hmm.
so I had something sent out per usual.
Hmm.
Um at this point, like talk about a subscription service. Like I just need one for this coffee shop.
Yeah,
Like
I know. You should be getting rewards points or whatever if you're not.
I do at my other place, but it's like a punch card, so you have to physically go in and I'm like, that is
Oh,
not
that
how this should be
defeats the
working.
purpose. Yeah.
Anyway, I got me a little iced tea, which I felt like I deserved. Yesterday, I kept thinking, oh, in a couple minutes, I'll order one. Oh, in a couple minutes, I'll order one. And then never did. And so this morning, I was like, now's the time for sure.
You're
So
like, I cock blocked myself yesterday.
I
Like, what
know.
was I thinking?
Anyway, have me a little iced tea. I got me a second one because
Yeah, I know you like yeah. I know
yeah,
the method.
one for
I know
chugging,
the
one for
method.
sipping. I always got a
The
double fist.
Schultz method. Hmm. Hmm.
And I drink honestly mainly because I it's so unbearably hot here that
Yeah, I heard that.
it's been like this whole week it's in the 90s and especially as someone who now has to go outside often because of a whole other living creature who
Mm.
wants to desperately be outside and he doesn't understand I'm keeping him alive by not letting him do that.
Yeah, he's like,
Um
I love it out here. He's like Olaf, like, I love the sun. It's like,
yeah.
no, you really need to get a grip.
And when I let him outside for like 5 minutes at a time, he still doesn't understand. So part of me, which is like
Yeah.
100 years ago, this would have not been animal abuse. Part of me is like, stay out there. Like I want you to find out why we're inside.
You enjoy it.
But he'll never know because he's too coddled. So at the dog park, people aren't even going until like 9 o'clock at night because it's so hot right now. It's like
Oh, yeah, and it's bad. It's like their paws get hurt and it's just
yeah,
it's hard.
and he will not wear his shoes. So that brings a whole.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like
I mean, what dog will wear their shoes? I met a dog recently with shoes on, and then I saw them again in the same shopping center, and she had different shoes on, and I was like, "Oh my god, she knows who she is." Like,
She's
she's just
kicking them
strutting
off
her
one
stuff.
by one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I not that I really planned on going outside, but all of a sudden now that it's not an option, I'm just like, oh, I don't like that. So I weirdly drink because I can't go outside. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Hey, something just shifted in the atmosphere.
I
I don't know, something just
A crack
broke,
of
I
lightning
think.
just hit the atmosphere.
Whoa!
Uh, um, yeah, and also I don't like that. It's kind of ruining my routine of like if I have to take them, I'd rather take them at this time instead of this time. And now I have to take them like when I'm usually about to like settled in for the night, you know.
When it's, like, finally cool enough, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what you know why I'm drinking if you really what we're boiling it down to is I'm being inconvenienced, and we know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you don't drink alcohol, because if you were, you drink alcohol every time you were inconvenienced, which, I mean, some of us tend to do occasionally, yeah, it would it would add a whole new element to your life, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you're just drinking iced tea.
Look, I know it. I think it all the time. I'm like, what if I just started drinking today? And then I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
I think I'm good.
Please don't.
I think it would be too sad at this point. Like I think like cuz I would
Don't
want to like
recommend.
have the
The fun
experience and
experience.
everyone else is like stopping that. They're like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, actually, it's starting to make me feel, like, bad."
Yeah, no one's going to
I
want to
don't
go out and like get drinks regularly with me, you know? So
I mean, I would, but
thank you.
not everyone, not everyone.
So I think there's like a window when you have to start drinking, and then if you don't get into that window, then it's like I think you just don't drink, you know?
It's like either you stop drinking at this age, you don't start usually.
I
Like,
know.
you usually keep
What an
drinking or stop
anomaly.
around, like, as you get older, but not really usually start from the beginning, yeah. Um,
Well, quick question, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But
yeah.
Leona's first day of preschool was yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah,
How
she fucking loves it, dude.
good?
She gets to bring, like, a little sleeping bag, and she goes to her
A sleeping
we put
bag.
her in, like I know, and it's a Dino Ranch sleeping bag, and we put her in she wanted to be in, like, the rest area instead of, like, I keep saying the restroom, and then everyone's like, "The restroom," and I'm like, "No, no, like, the rest
She wants to
zone."
be in the toilet. She's getting a swirly actually as
in
we
an
speak.
industrial bathroom, yeah. No, she wants to be in the but they also have, like, a nap room, and
Mm.
I'm like, "She doesn't take naps, but she's, like, doing so much that she'll probably be tired." And so she was in the rest area thingy, and, I was like, "Oh, so, like, did you, get to rest?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I kept my eyes open the whole time." You know how she's, like,
That
so
girl
weird about
loves to
falling
not
asleep?
close her eyes. I don't know what her deal
It's
is.
so strange, and then Blaze talked to her teacher today and said, "Oh, no, she apparently falls asleep every time." Like, and
Okay.
so they're moving her to the nap room, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." She told me and Blaze is like, "She doesn't say that to me." And I'm like, "I don't know why she keeps insisting to me that she doesn't
It's
close her eyes."
certainly a
I'm like, "Did
phase
I
I
do
wouldn't
something?"
expect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Did I fuck you up somehow already?" Like, I don't know what the closing the eyes is about.
You know when like macho men are like, I don't believe in therapy because like that's weak. That's weak. I don't. For some reason, I
Mhm.
feel like she thinks like closing her eyes is
No, I
weak or
know.
something. But
But I
what's
think there's some fear there maybe about dreaming because she's like, "I don't have dreams. I don't have dreams." And I'm always like,
yeah, she probably just
"Honey,
had
like,
her
what
first
are
bad
they
dream and
scary?" Yeah.
didn't know what to
But
do
then it's
about
like,
it.
"But I didn't even she never said anything." I'm like and we're always like, open. We're like, "You can tell us anything." But she's also very much she's like we're like, "Hey, like, what's wrong?" She's like, "I don't wanna tell you." And we're like, "Oh god, she's 3," and she's already like, "I don't wanna tell you." And
Three
we're
going
like,
on
"Oh,
16.
no." Exactly. It's already kind of like we have to play, like, wait till she's ready to tell but, like, so with the dreaming and the eyes open, I'm like, Listen, if you're having bad dreams, you can tell me." And she's like, "I don't have dreams." And I'm like, "Okay,
Okay, girl,
whatever
like
you say."
relax. Um, okay, well, you
Anyway,
know,
but it's
eventually
been
it's
good.
gonna
She's
come
very
out.
happy.
What's that?
I hope so. Oh, she loves her school, and she's just
Oh,
really
good,
happy, and, I'm just it's a big relief because it was a big shift, but,
good.
yeah.
Well, thinking of you during these trying times where she apparently doesn't dream. And you know, at some point she's gonna have maybe her own podcast when she's like our age, and then she's gonna be like, "Ugh, I had this weird thing about not being able to dream. I still have never told my mom about it." And you'll hear it in the car, like our moms
I
hear
will
it.
finally listen to it and get the story. You're right. Eventually, it will come out. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
I know
She's
it.
gonna have to blab.
I know it. I know it. Or it's gonna become a thing where like around the Christmas dinner table, all of the families like making fun of her for like not ever opening her eyes or closing her eyes. But it'll be
Oh
a bit at
boy.
some point. Don't worry.
It'll be a bit. I think I've already made it a bit on this podcast, so yeah.
I mean, talk about a really good Halloween costume, dressing
To
up
say like I
as a
sleep with
toddler
my
who
eyes
just
open, like
yeah.
what? I sleep with my eyes like who says that at age 3? I mean, whatever. I guess my child.
I for all you know, it's from like a TV show or something,
I
and she
know,
just
and I'm like,
held
I
on to
wish I
it.
could just kind of like figure it out, but she does not want me to know. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, I'm
I
happy
respect
that
your wishes.
she doesn't dream and had a good school day.
Yes, and doesn't nap at all.
No.
Not in the restroom.
Funkle M takes a nap though, so
Yeah, so do I. Hell no.
one day she'll understand how much a nap
One day.
is worth it.
One day when she's a podcaster.
Hello, everybody. Doing a quick little survey and scanning the crowd. Please raise your hand if you have ever dealt with any discomfort. Me. Raise your hand if you've ever dealt with any sleeplessness. Bing, bing, bing. I went to bed when the sun rose. Raise your hand also, last question, if you've ever dealt with stress or anxiety. Bing, 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 1,000 times. Me. If you are also a victim of 1, 2, or all 3 of these things, you know what you could use? A little cornbread hemp CBD gummy. I'm telling you, listen, they are formulated to help relieve discomfort. Boom. Sleeplessness. Boom. Stress. Boom. And cornbread hemp CBD gummies are made to help you feel better. So just in general. So if you're just want to feel a little less like you're not dealing with work, or you can't sleep, or you're feeling a little off, and maybe cornbread hemp gummies can help you out. They've also got great flavors: blueberry, yum; blood orange, yum; cherry lime, yum, yum, yum. They're all very, very, very good. Why don't you try all 3? See what happens. And right now, and that's why Drink listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/drink and use code DRINK at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/drink and use code DRINK. I have a story for you. It is short, because when I did these notes, I don't know where in the episode release this comes out, but we were having technical difficulties, and so I was like, I'm just gonna do a short episode because who knows when our internet's gonna crap out. So anyway, I have a South African folklore for you.
Ooh, okay.
This is the Tokoloshe. Do you know about the Tokoloshe?
I don't think so.
I love how it sounds.
I do too. It's very
rolls
satisfying.
right out of the mouth.
Yeah, that's what they say. Rolls right out of the mouth.
That's the first bullet point I've got. Tokoloshe rolls right out of the mouth. So in South African lore, the Tokoloshe is very deeply connected to many of their communities. It has gone by many names. Some of them are just different spellings of Tokoloshe. Some of it is Tokoloshe. One is, and sorry if I'm butchering these, but I'm trying here. Hili, Mwari, Chuhura, Hili. So there's a whole bunch of different.
How many names? Oh my gosh! So this thing has an alias and a half, 100 aliases.
And depending on which community or which group of people you're talking to, it's got different versions. And so.
Oh, okay, I see.
Big old mess over here with the Tokoloshe, but I'm gonna try to get it. I tried to narrow it down to like its main meat and potatoes. To describe a Tokoloshe for you, he's very, very short, like 1 foot tall.
Oh, why did I not expect that?
Yeah, Tokoloshe feels a little intimidating to me.
Yeah.
And then I hear its size,
like a tall being or something. Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, Tokoloshe tells me like you're from like a cave or something.
Yeah.
Or like in a wetlands.
Yeah, it does feel like a marsh.
Yes, Tokoloshe feels a little like damp, dripping everywhere.
It does. Marshy. It rolls right out of the mouth.
You said it and I thought it. So Tokoloshe is 1 foot tall. Now, rein in your comments for a second. They're apparently very well endowed.
Oh.
And please hold, so you'll see why. Because obviously it's the first thing I want to talk about, but trust me here. Trust me here.
I do. You have your reasons, I'm sure.
They are hairy primate, monkey-like, gremlin
Oh,
elves.
right. Just
Yeah.
your standard.
Just
Yeah.
like I tried to clump it all together. Some say it's a gremlin, some say it's an elf, some say it looks like a little monkey. I don't know what to tell you. They all have big old wangs.
Yeah, okay, that seems to be the combining factor here.
But so hairy little gremlin. Maybe that's the best we've got. Often they have long bony fingers.
I was like, long bony what? Okay. Phew. Well.
And long bony bones and long bony fingers,
Mm.
gouged out eyes,
What?
and a burn hole in its head.
What?
Tokoloshe. So some sources say it can also shapeshift, so that maybe that's why it's a gremlin elf monkey.
Oh.
Some also say, this is different versions that believe that this is more of a water spirit than anything else.
Mm.
They say that this can become invisible when it drinks water. Or
Okay.
actually can become invisible by like swallowing or sucking on a stone, a certain type of stone. It makes them invisible.
Whoa.
A lot of things going on here.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like they couldn't commit to the one storyline.
It feels, and I don't know if it's because like maybe with different languages,
Right.
maybe like it's just being translated differently. I have no idea.
It's like regionally different
Yeah, it's like,
belief
oh,
systems.
it's a monkey. No, it's an elf. Oh, actually, if it sucks on a stone, it's invisible. Actually, if it swallows the stone, it's invisible. If it swallows the stone, it's probably dead. If it's 1 foot tall,
If it's
but
1
okay.
foot tall.
So different communities have different ways of how the Tokoloshe is
But we can
created.
all agree he's huge ding dong. That's the
And
one
also,
thing we can all agree on.
and also, now that we're mentioning it, like, is it in proportion to his 1 foot tall body, or
Okay,
is
are
it
we
for
mentioning it?
a 6?
Or are we not yet mentioning it? We're not yet.
I don't know
We'll
anymore. I'm
we'll wait. We'll
lost.
get there.
Okay.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
Thank you. So, different communities have different ways that the Tokoloshe is created, but the main one is that it's created by a witch or sorceress. And I saw some sources saying that it's a certain type of witch called a sangoma. But then other websites that when I looked up sangoma said that this was more of like a healer. Although I could see why witch and healer are kind of conflated with each other. But then the story here seems to be that the witch creating a Tokoloshe is usually nefarious in some way or hired for
Right.
nefarious
So it's
purposes.
like a negative thing
Yeah.
in this context. Okay.
And there were actually some Sangomas who were interviewed about Tokoloshe, and they even said, like, I don't know how to create one because I'm not a witch. So, like, it seems like there's a bit of a divide.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to stick with the word witch in general,
Okay.
because Sangoma seems to have different connotations, like you said. So,
Got it.
anyway, a witch creating a Tokoloshe is the most common way that this happens. Basically, this witch is hired by a local who wants to enact revenge upon someone or cause harm on someone in town. In one way or another, it could be like, oh, I just want them to have bad luck, or I want them to get sick, or something like that. And in one common version, when the client goes to a witch and says that they want this done, the price that they pay is probably monetary, but on top of that, they are told that this will be a soul for a soul situation. So you would think that means that they're selling their soul to create the
Yeah.
soul of the Tokoloshe, but really they're told that this soul will be a loved one of theirs, and they don't get to pick which loved one.
So you like sacrifice someone you don't know who from your family or your loved ones in order to so is this the witch who does that, or the person who's hiring the witch has to sacrifice someone in their family?
The person hiring the witch says, "I want you to make
Oh,
me a Tokoloshe," and the witch is like, "All right, be
that's
prepared
quite
for
a
like
story.
one of
Holy
your loved
shit.
ones to die somehow."
That's dark. Yeah.
And yeah, so they also don't get to pick. It's not like, oh, well, that one person who
Ugh.
was a loved one. It's like it could be your kid, it could be your dad, it could,
Mm.
um,
That's so wow, that's intense.
yeah. So you must really fucking hate this person to do this.
Yeah.
And the story goes that the Tokoloshe will pick for you which loved one he'll be taking from you when
Sinister.
he's done with all of his misdeeds.
Ew, afterward, that's even weirder. Like, okay, now I get my prize. Like, ugh.
And it's a vague amount of time because it could be weeks later, it could be years
Oh.
later, which I could see like censuses a mythical creature.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I could see how if it's that wide of a range,
Mm.
and eventually someone you love will pass away, and it can be justified by the Tokolo. She'll be like, well,
Right.
you know what I mean? So
I can see how that continues the story. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, ends up being like a confirmation bias in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's pretend that they've made this arrangement. Witch, make me a
Mm.
Tokolosh, someone I know is going to die eventually. The witch then finds a body, just a dead body, or
Okay.
it could be a symbolic body. This can include, actually, this is a quote, a corpse, an animal, a witch's familiar, a doll, or body parts sewn together to form a host.
Hello? Why not just go find okay, first of all, wow.
Yeah.
Just find an animal if you're gonna do that. Not to be weird, but like where are you getting all these body parts?
Yeah, or literally one of the options is a doll. Like, just do a
Yeah, right,
doll
a
every
doll,
time.
exactly.
Like
You mean my doll made of human limbs? No, not that doll, the other doll.
my
Jeez.
Frankenstein doll. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, or I assume more the most common one is a corpse because that's the spookiest, but I don't really know for
yeah.
sure. Body parts sewn together to form a host is such a sentence.
I mean, that is like out of left field. Like, oh,
So
okay.
okay, we find a body. Um,
Or we make one.
or we build one with with our body. And then the witch takes a hot iron rod and burns it into the body's head, hence the burn mark on their head,
Oh, okay.
and their eye sockets, hence their gouged out
Ew!
eyes. Um,
Ew!
and that's because part of this ritual, or the symbolism behind it at least, is to make this body no longer think or see for itself, so that way it will be at the command of the witch.
Oh my, okay.
Then the witch sprinkles some sort of powder. I tried looking up what type of powder. I got all sorts of different answers, but um, some sort of powder on the body. And you would think like, oh, that's to like preserve it or bring it to life or something. But apparently, this is the shrinking compound that makes them 1 foot tall.
That's the shrinking compound.
You know how that goes.
It's like a shrinky dink situation where like, okay, I see. It's like, oh, there's just some magic. Don't worry, chemical. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay.
The fact that a witch could just be out there you playing with shrinky dinks, and instead we're doing this soul
I mean,
sacrifice to a
really, we could
doll.
be doing like a fun little like Honey I Shrunk the Kids moment reboot, but instead we're like gouging out eyes. I don't know. It feels like
Imagine
we could have taken this a different direction.
if Honey I Shrunk the Kids 3 or 4, the enemy or the villain was a Tokolosh, just a
I mean, it
gremlin
feels
chasing
like
them
that's where
with
we're
a big
headed
old
at this
peen.
point.
Um,
Yeah, we cannot forget that part. It's really important when we're casting.
so from there, the witch commands this Tokolosh to terrorize whoever the client is seeking vengeance on, right? So some
What if the
versions,
powder like shrunk the person, but then like gave them a huge wang at the same time?
I'm kind of curious, like, does it not work on penises, or is the witch dodging the penis when sprinkling?
And like, does it have to have a penis or does it just get one? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it just said like a body or like an animal. It didn't say like one with a
Yeah. Does
penis.
my Raggedy Ann have to have a big old schlong? Like, what's
Exactly. Like, what do you
going
mean a
on
doll
here?
with a penis? What are you talking about? A
Yeah.
dick
You know what? 2 for 1. Sex doll.
with a penis?
Yeah, a male sex doll.
Is that a thing? I mean,
I'm
I'm sure it is
sure
a
there's a thing. It's sure.
thing. I guess. Can you imagine if you gouged out the eyes of a sex doll though? Because then it would just deflate.
Good point. Although, like, no, I'm thinking of like those, like,
Oh, those like
unfortunately,
creepy
I've
ones.
seen like the like fully anatomically
The
correct like
the creepy real
mannequins.
right, okay, that kind of sex doll. I was thinking like the inflatable, like kind of jokey kind. Okay.
I mean,
I
it's
see.
that's you're hurting
Do you
no
think they
one.
had those like hundreds of years ago in the
No, I don't think they had cast molding or anything like that.
yeah, or
Um,
silicone
or
like
silicone.
factories. Yeah,
Hmm.
silicone factories.
Back
What am I
then, I
talking
think
about?
I don't know what year this is, but if we're pretending it's the olden times, I weren't vibrators like rocks or something. So,
I mean, no.
what was old
They had
world's
like these crazy machines and stuff, like vibrating
world's
machines.
oldest vibrator?
I
The
mean, what?
world wants to know. Don't even play with me.
I mean, I feel like it's not a rock. Because what do you mean?
Well, the first dildo was a rock, right?
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, wow, you're right. It looks like a hairdryer or something.
Yeah, they're really crazy.
The
And they were
Polar
like, "Oh,
Cub
this."
electric vibrator. It's literally called vibrator. Good for them. Proud
Well,
of it.
yeah, I know, because it was supposed to, like, but it wasn't supposed to, like, get you off. It was like, "Oh, it, like, how it, like, heals, hysteria," or
Oh,
something.
right. Yes, that of course.
Oh my god, it's
Ugh.
also known, I'm so sorry, as Granville's hammer. It was
Damn.
originally designed to treat muscle aches, pain, and other ailments by stimulating nerves.
Oh. Well, have you ever seen one in real life?
A steam-powered manipulator table massager? That's, what they called it. What?
Yeah, the Granville hammer or whatever it is. Have you ever seen one of those?
A Granville hammer? No, have you?
Yeah,
Have I?
mom,
Let me see.
mom, I know you're listening
What do
because
you
you're in the
mean?
car. My mom and I, when I was way too young, decided to go on a mommy kid date to
Oh
the
god.
Museum of Sex.
Oh my
Um,
god.
and we learned a lot about each other that day. We learned a lot about others. We learned a lot about the Granville hammers. There was a whole room
Wow.
of them. I was like in high school, so it wasn't super creepy, but it
Oh,
was
okay, okay. It was still,
like
like, uncomfortable because it's, like, your parent,
police
yeah.
didn't need to be called, but it was like a really good probably script for Arrested Development or something. Like there was
Right, I get you.
yeah. But that's where I saw the big old mannequin with his own
Wow.
hammer, if you will. And
Oh, I see. Okay.
anyway, Museum
Wow.
of Sex
Well,
in New York, everyone, if you really want a weird date with your mom. Um
yeah. Yeah.
10 out of
That,
10. The gift shop
no
is
more.
incredible, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I imagine. There's no more to say on my end. I feel like you've said all that needs to be said.
Someone needed to go to the Museum of Sex with their mom, and I apparently volunteered as tribute. So if anyone needs a review, I'll throw it on over to you.
Yeah. You undid it
Um,
for the plot already.
you know I love doing it for the plot. I'd do it again for the
Mhm.
plot. And actually
I'm
things would
sure
be
you
different
would.
now because back then I was a 16-year-old who
Yeah,
claimed
now
to
you'd have
like
an.
boys.
Yeah, yikes.
Now I can give a real opinion. Um, where are we?
Was that where
Oh,
you realized it? You were like, "Oh, never mind."
no, but I there actually was a whole floor based on homosexuality in nature. Fun fact. So that
Was your
should
mom
have
like, "We are not going on that floor"? No, I'm kidding.
that actually would have been a really funny way to come out to my mom. In hindsight, I should have done it that way. It's just
That would have been pretty good.
like, and there's another right here.
Uh-huh. Oh, should I just stand behind this glass
Lion.
case? Would that help? A lion?
They had videos
What?
everywhere of gay lions. They were really
Oh, okay, that took me by surprise. Okay.
fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, back to this. Okay, so the Tokoloshe wreaking havoc, big old schlong. He the way that a witch will, I think, keep the Tokoloshe docile, that's the way it was phrased to me, but I'm assuming it's like so the Tokoloshe doesn't like turn on her or
Mm.
something. But then again, the whole burning of the eyes and mind is it implies that it's
Isn't
now
it?
imprinted on
Yeah.
you. I don't totally know. But to keep it docile, or I guess when she doesn't want it to go out there causing trouble, she will feed it curdled milk and she will trim the hair that hangs over its eyes as like an act of kindness. So,
You mean it's not eyes?
right.
It's not
Over its
eyes.
holes. Hey, we really full circle orifices.
Orifice? Yeah.
Um
I'm not like, hey, just so you know, I'm uncomfortable with that part of the story. I
okay.
don't know if anyone's wondering or keeping score, but for some reason, I don't really know what it is. Can't put my finger on it, but not for me. This cutting the bangs and curdled milk.
That's actually a great point. I totally forgot that it doesn't have eyes. So like why are you trimming its
It's like,
bangs
look how
so it can
nice I
see?
am.
Like it can't
That
see.
feels like an extra fuck you, actually.
It's like if you could see, all of a
Sorry, I
sudden
took your eyes out, but
you'd be
here's a
thanking
nice
me.
haircut you'll never see in the mirror.
Well, okay, so that is how she kind of keeps this thing at bay. She feeds it curdled milk. She gives it little haircuts. Apparently, she will also. This is some of the versions. The Tokoloshe will also have sex with the witch. Although I will say,
Oh.
this is probably stereotyping because witches sleep with the devil or whatever. So I'm
Right, there's always that kind of implication. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I don't know how true that would actually be depending on who you talk to, but that is part of the story, and
Mm.
there you have it. So
I
now,
mean, maybe it is a sex doll after all.
yeah,
Just
maybe
saying.
that's of the theories. That's nicer than I'm gonna gouge its eyes out and give it spoiled milk.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, now the Tokoloshe is created, terrorizing victims, and versions range from all sorts of mischief. I mean, it
Mm.
could be like just pranking people to like full blown murder. Um,
Mischief.
yeah, just
And
like
then
a
you're,
little
like,
mischief.
trading the soul of your child for this. It's like, "Okay."
So on the mischief side, they will sneak into your house at night. They'll make a lot of noise. They'll knock over your stuff. They'll steal your food. They'll like tear up your clothes. You know, the
Like, cause a
usuals.
scene. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's it inconveniences you, which honestly, if
Yeah.
you ever wanted to ruin my life, just
Yeah,
inconveniences
I know how to do it, don't worry,
100
it's easy.
splinters, you know what I'm saying?
I just yeah, yeah,
So
I would find a way.
at other times, they will find their victims sleeping in bed and attack them in whatever means necessary.
Ew, as a
Eh,
1-foot little being with no eyes? Ugh, what the
yeah,
fuck?
and this is where this is why I was trying to hold off on the well-endowed
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
situation, is
Oh,
they
no.
will attack people in whatever means necessary.
Oh, no, so there's, like, sexual assault here with this thing
Yeah.
too? Oh, forget about it.
I will say I did not see anything when it comes to like a lot of victims of Tokoloshe are children, but I did not see anything about that in children. I it
Okay,
was
well, that's good at least.
I don't
Let's
from
hope
what I
those are
saw,
just few and far between stories.
yeah. And also not to, this is somebody's culture, so I'm not trying to like poo poo on it,
No,
but
yeah.
like it is helpful to also remember that this is a mythical creature. So
Yeah, right.
that helps that hopefully
Yeah,
this isn't actually happening.
like, on a
Um
regular basis or anything like that, especially.
Yeah, so, mostly what I saw when it comes to, like, the Tokoloshe attacking kids, it was more pranky, and it's also
Who
become
is, like, hiring them to attack kids? Like, what kinda sicko?
maybe another kid, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Um, Also, I think a lot of kids being involved has not a big chunk of it, I think, is more as a cautionary tale today of, like, "Watch out or the Tokoloshe will
Ah,
get
sure.
you."
Yeah.
Um But when it comes to more violent graphic things, it was more directed at women, also men. Um, but it will apparently, on the more violent side, beat you up. It will choke you because they have those long fingers. Uh, the thing that they're most known for, which is fascinating, which I get to later, but just remember this, is that they're best known for making people sick and literally sucking the breath out of them.
Oh, God.
So remember that. They
No.
they've been said to leave long, nasty scratches on your back that get infected. They
Yeah.
will feed off your negative and fearful energy to stick around longer than they should. And because of the connection to this folklore and its superstition, the Tokoloshe have been blamed for very real situations. Um,
Oh.
in the 1930s, there was a man who killed his nephew because he thought that his nephew was a Tokoloshe in disguise.
Oh, jeez.
In the 1950s, there was actually a serial killer in the area who claimed he murdered his victims because he thought he himself was a Tokoloshe.
Oh, dear.
So there's obviously a mental illness or mental health
Yeah,
situation going on here.
something.
In the 1990s, though, unfortunately, and then this also 1990s for children, and then also everywhere else for it's not just strictly in the 1990s for adults, but in the 1990s, there were several kids who were being physically abused by their family members.
Oh,
Um,
God.
and it was told that Tokoloshes were responsible. And
Yeah, that's when it gets, yeah,
yeah,
real.
so just to give you an idea too of how ingrained Tokoloshes are in the community, where like some people actually thought this could be like a plausible excuse to what ends up
Right.
being later found out as obviously a cover up by family members who were hurting the kids.
Wow.
But it was like something they actually said and thought they would get away with it. You know what I mean? So,
That's no, I don't like that.
also, unfortunately, many women who in real life have been sexually assaulted, um, and they feel like in their community they would be shamed or something. A lot of them will say that they were assaulted by Tokoloshes because they don't want to deal with the repercussions
Right, right, right,
of
right, right.
who may have really done it.
Of reporting something, yeah.
So even when it's not a crime, though, I just want to get the dark part out of the way that like Tokoloshes have been blamed
Mhm,
for things as well as been blamed by the victims for things, and
mhm,
often it is to cover up a much
mm,
more serious situation.
right.
Um, Even when it's not a crime, it is common to blame Tokoloshes for sillier things that happen to you or around the house. So if something goes missing all the time, you'd be like, oh, the Tokolosh took it. So there really is such a gamut on how people perceive this creature, depending on where you are.
Right, right, right.
Um, Many people are superstitious about even saying the name of the Tokolosh and fear that it welcomes them into their house at night. And like I said earlier, it's now a cautionary tale that you'll warn misbehaving kids to do better, or else the Tokolosh will get them while they're sleeping. I heard that it will bite your toes off while you're sleeping.
Ew! Well, oh god, because that's, like, already a fear of, like, your foot being out of the covers, like, don't
Yes,
do that.
I feel like that's a universal feeling of being scared, and so every parent
It
just feeds
is, why
into
would
it
you
with
take
their own
advantage of
regional
that?
creature. Yeah.
That's horrible.
So, how to get rid of a Tokolosh? Because once they've done their job, I guess it's like, all right, wrap it up. We don't need this guy anymore. There are a few things you can do. You can destroy, I guess it's called muthi, but it's essentially the herbs and oils and ritual ingredients that were used to create the Tokolosh. So just
Oh,
destroy
okay.
that. Apparently, it's often buried by the house of the victim. That like
The
the
Tokoloshes?
Yeah. So like
Oh.
when the Tokolosh is being made, then all of the ritual stuff is then buried next to the house where the Tokolosh is supposed to attack
Oh, okay, I see, by the witch.
by the witch. So
Got it, okay, okay.
in theory you can dig that up, and
Gotcha.
so I wonder if you're having like a really bad week, do you just start digging up your own yard wondering if someone buried
And the
something?
neighbors are like, when will he figure out he's just kind of having a shitty week, you know?
So apparently that is not super possible for a lot of people. I don't totally understand the reasoning, but they said if you want to do something easier than that, which I always want to do
Well,
something
maybe it's
easier
because you
than
can't
digging.
find the well, maybe it's because you can't
Yeah,
find it
good point.
because
Um,
it's may not be there. I don't
it
know.
may not be
I
there,
mean,
or like,
not to challenge the myth or whatever, but, maybe it's like, "Oh, well, if that doesn't work, like, you don't find evidence of
right,
these herbs." I don't know.
good point. Or you just don't want to dig.
Or your arms are so tired.
Um, a lot of people will resort to something else like using certain salts, which are literally called Tokolosh salts. And
Oh,
they
wow.
come in different colors, so you know that that's fun.
Cute.
And they'll sprinkle that near threshold so the Tokolosh can't come in any
Mm.
longer. Another thing you can do, which Sangoma, the healers,
Mhm.
they said another thing you can do is literally surround yourself with positive people because it wards off the negative energy that the Tokolosh feeds off of. So I love that
Oh, okay.
their holistic way of it is
Yeah,
like
yeah, it is very
the
holistic.
power of belief and the power of
Yeah.
kindness. Um,
Surround yourself with positivity.
and what are the odds it's
Which if
also
a
the most
doctor said
cost
that to me, I
effective?
would, like, punch them in the head, but yeah, I get it though. I do.
The most common way to avoid attacks from the Tokolosh, though, those are some of the more, I guess, if you're taking this like super seriously, then you might
Mm.
do all those things. But the most common thing that people do to keep Tokolosh away is to raise their bed off the ground, just because they're so short that they
They're
can't get
so
you.
small. You're kidding me.
Be ableist is what it is. Just
Wow.
dang, don't make it accessible. Your
Dang.
home is no
Well,
longer
I have,
accessible.
like, a little ramp for my dog, so I feel like I would have to
You're
remove
fucked. I'll tell you
that.
that. You're in
Yeah,
trouble.
they're gonna find their way up. Oh, no.
But yeah, just basically he's just a will guy, and so
You
you
just need a
gotta
little platform bed.
make your
Okay.
bed hard to get to. So it's apparently very common for beds still in like a superstitious tradition to sit on top of bricks or paint cans or risers in some way.
Interesting.
And it's just very common, I guess, in these areas to elevate your bed while you sleep. And if someone like me walked in and was like, "Why is everyone's bed off the ground?" Apparently, it's because of the Tokolosh. So
That's so fascinating, and, like, listen, I love a lofted bed, I get it.
yeah, in my
Nothing
mind, it's
wrong
like
with
just
that.
make yourself a bunk bed. Get rid of the ladder. Just
Get
have a
rid of the
party.
ladder, just like Sims style, just jump in a pool, take the ladder out.
I was always jealous of the people who had that one like PB teen bunk bed where you had a
Oh,
desk underneath the bunk
Oh, the
bed.
loft? Yeah, that's what I mean, the lofted with the desk under.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my dream. My
I thought
dream.
I it was one of those
That
things where I
is
was
the
like, if you
height
have that in
of
your house, you made it.
you've really succeeded at being a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So, this is the interesting thing I wanted to tell you about that I told you to hold on to. It was when I was telling you one of the things that the Tokoloshe is best known for is like sucking the life out of you and
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
sucking the breath out of you and making you feel sick. So, I don't really know how to start this part, but it's so interesting. The another, how do I say this? Because it's, oh God, what is wrong with my brain? So people now sleep on raised beds because of the Tokoloshe, who are best known for also sucking the life out of you. And in two different ways, comes from the origins of the Tokoloshe, from all the way back when Tokoloshe became a concept for these people. Um, it was in Bantu speaking areas. It was during a time when people would often sleep around a fire on cold nights, and so they'd be sleeping on the
Mm.
grass, on the ground. They'd all surround this fire, and it would just keep them warm. And then mysteriously, a bunch of these people who were going to bed by campfire, they were all dead by morning. And it was
What?
just a huge mystery of like, why are all these people dying? So this led to the belief that there was a creature who was coming in at night
Oh,
and
shit.
sucking the breath out of them. And that led to the creation of this creature, the Tokoloshe, where it's like, don't sleep
Mm.
next to the fire on the ground, or else the Tokoloshe is going to get you. So you should sleep somewhere
Oh,
elevated so the Tokoloshe can't get you.
elevated.
And this actually ended up saving lives because what they didn't know at the time was that people who were sleeping on the ground so close to the fire, they were giving themselves carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes, okay, I've heard that before. Oh, I didn't even clock that.
So
Okay.
the
And it's
fire
like they just stop breathing, so you probably are like, "Oh, shit,"
So
like,
it's making
they
them sick
just
and sucking the life out of them, sucking the breath out of them.
wow, that's so scary.
Because the fire would burn the oxygen around them, and if they're sleeping
Right.
that close to the fire, it's burning away their oxygen,
That's so scary.
leaving carbon monoxide, which is heavier, so it's sinking to where they're sleeping on
Right.
the floor. Um, and so anyway, it became. It's just so interesting to me that this folklore of a creature killing
Yes.
you on the ground. They were just basically they just came up with a different killer. It's like instead of it being carbon monoxide poisoning, it was the Tokoloshe.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like that's so fascinating about folklore, how it, like, intertwines with I mean, that's, I guess, what people study when they study folklore. It's just that's so interesting. And then, like, I mean, I imagine there are other reasons to have an elevated bed. Things like spiders come
yeah,
to mind. I
yeah,
don't know. I feel like,
snakes, yeah,
anywhere yeah, I don't know. I like a bed off the ground just in case. You never
yeah.
know.
But it was so interesting to me that like they
Wow.
accidentally like it was
That's wild.
for a secondary reason, but they to elevate their own bed, they actually were saving
Mhm.
themselves from now carbon monoxide poisoning.
Like a
Um,
real killer, yeah,
and it
wow.
did one of the reasons that the Tokoloshe is now so heavily ingrained in the communities is because it has been used as a tool to inform their belief that sleeping on an
Yeah.
elevated bed will keep you alive. And so
Wow.
this is a quote that this I'll just read the whole quote. This is a fascinating example of the use of folklore to create tangible changes in the lifestyles of people. The
Mm.
creature ultimately resulted in a positive impact on communities who believed in it. It has saved people from becoming ill and has prevented deaths, as well as indirectly educated children about the potential dangers of sleeping too close to a fire indoors.
That's incredible.
So, anyway, I thought that was a cool
I
way
mean,
to end
obviously,
it.
it has its downsides with the but, like, that's really fascinating. Like, it's
Yeah.
so fascinating.
Anyway, that's the Tokoloshe.
Wow, good story.
Thank you.
I heard a story last night that maybe you can cover at some point. I was listening to Spooked, um, with, Glenn Washington, and there was a story about these, these creatures that were like lights that were meant to distract you while you were in the woods, like on a path or whatever. So
Ooh,
for a minute, when you said Toglish, I was like, "Oh god, if that's what I heard about last night, I'm gonna freak out and I'm never going to look at a tree again."
I'm
Um,
writing it down right now. Creatures that are
yeah, I'm trying
lights
to
to
remember. I'll
distract
look up.
you in the woods.
They like are sort of like meant to like spin you around or get you lost, or
Oh, like
and then
disorient
you
you?
disappear. Yeah, and so people have said like, "Oh, people disappear." I believe it was in India, and I need to figure out exactly what part, cuz it was a specific part, I think, but yeah, it was really really creepy cuz this guy told a story of like his grandfather experiencing them, the
Mhm.
lights, and like, ooh, it's just like chilling.
That's awesome.
Um
Okay, I will check that out for sure.
Yes, it is worth looking at, because I was for a minute really scared you were gonna start talking about that, and then I was
That'd
like,
be
"What does
crazy.
it mean? What does it mean?" And then I think that's probably why I thought they were tall, because
Oh, yeah.
that those creatures were tall, and I was like, "Ah,
It's
help."
so funny that the sound of something can feel the same in
Isn't
both of
that
our brains,
weird?
'cause I think of, like, a tall, like, branchy looking tall.
Like in the marsh
Yeah, I
with the Tokoloshe, it's like
interesting.
something about that. Um, oh, here we are. Fire creature. Oh, it's in the Himalayas. Um, when you're lost in the Okay, they don't say the name of it, but it's called Fire Creature, the episode of Spooked.
Okay, cool.
Fire Creature, but yeah, it's supposed to but it has a light, like, on its forehead, and so when you said, like, "Oh, they put a thing in its forehead," I was like, "No, not the light in the forehead."
Fire
Um,
creature. Okay,
Different thing, I guess.
cool. Thank
Wow,
you.
what a tale.
Mint Mobile has been putting not just my mind at ease, but Christine's mind at ease. When we were on tour, it was there for us. On stage, it was there for us live before your very eyes. Mint Mobile has been helping us in every which way. And right now, they have the best deal of the year that's ending soon. It's 50% off unlimited premium wireless for new customers. All Mint Mobile plans also come with high speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. There's nothing I love more than talking. In fact, I was a recreational yapper so often and so well that I decided to make it my profession. If you would like to talk as much as me, you're going to need this unlimited talk and text. Let me tell you now. Also, with Mint Mobile, you stop overspending with big wireless, and you can cut your wireless bill to $15 a month when you switch. If there's anything I love more than yapping, it's overspending, but it's on things I want, like treats and tchotchkes, you know? So that could be you. You just gotta move over to Mint Mobile. Just don't miss out on 3 months of unlimited premium wireless from Mint Mobile for $15 a month, but you have to hurry because this deal ends September 22nd. Hut, hut, get to it. Quit stalling and start saving when you make the switch. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/ATWWD. That's mintmobile.com/ATWWD. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Welcome. This is where I tell you about the yummiest things I've eaten this week. You ready? 3 meals in a row. I'm just going to hit you with them. Boom. Mozzarella crusted chicken. What? Steak and potatoes. Can't beat the OG, right? Winner, winner, chicken orzo dinner. You too can eat like that with HelloFresh. Fall is here. There's nothing I love more than a hearty meal. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, but especially when it's cool and cozy. Oh, God, a hearty meal really gets me going. And that's where HelloFresh comes in because they bring you comforting, chef designed recipes and fresh seasonal ingredients right to your door. And HelloFresh, this is probably my favorite news they've ever announced, is that they've doubled their menu. So you can now choose from 100 options each week. 100. That's one less than Dalmatians, people. You can dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. And you can feel great with an even healthier menu, too, because they've got options that are filled with high protein and they're veggie packed and they feel very fresh. No? Green? Maybe? Yes? Um, I'm telling you, HelloFresh has never let me down. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/drink10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. That's one per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. HelloFresh.com/drink10FM to get 10 free meals and a free item for life.
Alrighty, so the story I have for you today is also pretty short, and it's unfortunately not because it's like any easier to listen to
Oh.
or an easier pill to swallow. It's just that unfortunately it wasn't really covered that extensively.
Mm.
And that I don't know if you remember, but a few months ago, it was probably like a year ago now, but Saoirse and I found this thread on Reddit, or I found it and sent it to Saoirse, and we've been kind of going back and forth and seeing similar threads of like cases that stick with people that haven't been as recognizable to other people,
Mm.
that are like kind of under the radar, haven't been given like enough of as much coverage as
Yeah.
other cases have. And so I've done a few of those, quite a lot, I think, because they're all very compelling in that like nobody knows about this. This one is one from one of these threads. It's the story of Lori Annalise Paige. And I know we don't necessarily do like trigger warning. This is a child though. And
Mm.
so I do like to say that up front. And we'll get into that. She's a 12-year-old girl. She was born in 2011. Her mother's name was Miranda White, and her father is Andrew Wiley. She was a very studious girl. She was, this story is just very,
Mhm.
it's just a rough one. She was the kind of kid that being on time for her for school, as an example, being on time was so important that she would run from class to class to be like in her
Okay.
seat by the time the bell rang.
Nerd.
I know, like total nerd. She had really good grades. She worked really hard. She even like helped other kids with their homework when they were struggling. And her teachers, of course, like took great notice of this. She was very well liked by everybody at school and got along with her classmates. Had, I guess, other nerdy friends like me
Cool.
back then. So she got along with her teachers and classmates and was well liked, but there were a couple instances that I wouldn't say like stand out necessarily. It's just the context of this story that like I guess it gives you a little more insight into her.
Sure.
But she was a child, so I don't know. She basically had to be moved to another classroom one time after developing a crush on a teacher. And she left him a note which read something like, "Do you like me? Circle yes or no." And like
Oh,
it just makes me sad that
no.
that's even reported, because it's like that's just
It
a
was just like a
sweet kid thing.
12-year-old crush, like a little
I
kid.
know. And apparently she was so embarrassed when they like brought the note up and she said she didn't write it. And it's like, we've all been there, man. In other words, like any sort of trouble, quote unquote, because like, let me just give you a little bit of a preface here, some spoiler alert. There's a lot of like runaway talk, right? And
Okay.
and there are some runaway instances that are going to happen. But I just we wanted to give you that backstory to just say like, she was a normal kid. It
Right.
wasn't
Like,
like,
are
oh, she had
people
like a behavioral disorder and like hated being at school.
do people use that story about, like, the "Do you like me?" as, like, a reason why she ran away? Like, she was
No,
embarrassed?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, no, no. That was more just like an example of this is the only kind of trouble she ever got into.
Gotcha, okay.
Like not real trouble, just like being a little kid and, you know,
Gotcha.
being a kid.
She's a
Literally,
kid.
that's it.
She's just a kid.
She's just a kid. So that was just kind of a background into her. At school, she, other than this little instance, she thrived, but at home, it was a different story. We don't know much about Lori's early childhood. She initially lived with her mother, Miranda, in Tennessee. And as a young child, she was in the custody of the Department of Children and Families. But then when she was older, she did run away from home once. And this is like, again, this goes to show like she didn't like to miss school. So she didn't go very far. And then she came back because she wanted to go to school and didn't want to have absences on her report. I mean, it's like,
Little kid. So
oh, I
sweet.
know. If Lori had any contact with her father at this time, it was very little when she was living up there in Tennessee. And according to Andrew, he did at one point live with Lori in Miami when she was 5 years old, but after age 5, she really didn't have any contact until 2022 when Lori is 11 years old and she travels from Tennessee to Florida to visit her dad. Then her mother says, "You can't come home."
Oh, shit. Okay.
Like, essentially, "I'm not taking her back in, you need to watch her." And, like, I
Damn.
don't know too much of the context. She just said, "I don't want custody anymore." I don't know if she was going through some sort of
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I don't know the context, I really don't, but we do know that she basically said, "Okay, I want your father to now take custody of you." And so she moved in with her dad in Tallahassee, and he enrolled her in Griffin Middle School's 6th grade class. I mean, being in 6th grade is already so hard. Like, it just breaks my heart. And as usual, she decided to pour herself into her schoolwork. Um, Once, for example, some of Lori's classmates failed a difficult test in civics class, and students were allowed to do a poster board project on the Bill of Rights to like raise their grade.
Mhm.
And she did it even though she got an A on the test. she, she was that kid that we were all like, oh, of
You
course you did the bonus work without even needing the points.
She was the kid who, like, asked about homework at the end of every class.
Yes,
Oh, and
she was a kid I was friends with but could never be. Like,
she was the girl I was like, "No, please, please don't."
don't say it, don't raise your hand. Oh my god, asking about homework. But that was like her that's the
She's
kind of
just a
girl she
good
was. And
kid.
in
Yeah, she's just
a good kid and in
yeah.
6th grade, like you're so little at that age. Her teacher, Margie Summers, called Laura. So she did this project, and her teacher said it was a work of art. Like she put so much work into this, and she didn't even care that she couldn't do better than an A. She just wanted to participate, like
She
in
just wants
school,
to
which is
learn.
she wants to learn. Her teacher suspected that she tried so hard in school because she didn't get very much attention at home and didn't
Mm.
like have much of a life outside of school. And although the adults in her life never knew much about her home life, they did know that she was very unhappy. Lori talked to her friends about being unhappy and lonely living at her dad's house. And then in May of 2022, she ran away again, this time from her dad's house in Tallahassee. And she hid out at an apartment complex near the pool. And her friends would bring her food because they
Oh,
knew where she
man.
was staying. Yeah. Her teacher, Margie, said that this time they found her at school. She didn't want to miss class, so she showed up barefoot, like during her runaway period. It's just like,
It's like, what
it's
I mean, first of all,
horrid.
so sad, but also, what a juxtaposition, to throw out a big
I
word,
know.
of, like, what
Yeah.
a good kid who's also a runaway. But then it really makes you wonder, like, well, why is the kid running away? Like, obviously, this
Well,
is a
yeah,
good kid
exactly. Like kids aren't running away from
from
super
safety. Yeah.
usually happy, health, safe homes. I mean, I wouldn't say always necessarily, but I feel most of the time, yeah, that gets overlooked and then they're kids. I mean, whatever.
Mhm.
So the school had to contact Andrew, her dad, and Lori was returned home. So that was in May of 2022. At the end of the month, end of May, Miranda, her mother, called the Tallahassee police and requested a welfare check on Lori at Andrew's house. It's unclear how thorough the check in was, but Lori remained in her home with Andrew. And at home, Lori was super isolated. She didn't have a phone. She didn't use any social media. So she couldn't even like talk to her friends. And this is 2022. Like, this isn't, years ago where you, as a teenager, like, or preteen, wouldn't have access.
Mhm.
It's like now, it's like current day. And so it does feel hard that like a 6th grader has no connection to her friends outside of school. Um, and it makes you just think, no wonder she liked being there and
Yeah.
having her relationships there. So she spent a lot of time alone on the computer at her dad's house. She would watch YouTube videos and play Roblox. Her dad worked nights as a correctional officer, and so she was mostly
Wow.
unsupervised. Like she just was there by herself. And they did have a neighbor named Terry Smith, and he used to look out for Lori because he had kids himself. And this was like a pretty safe and quiet cul-de-sac neighborhood. And it was pretty far out of the way from the main street. And so Terry would like notice that Lori was just there alone all the time. And so, he would just make sure she was okay. He would just keep an eye on her. And he started to notice that she was always wearing baggy clothes. She was never with other children. And she seemed uncomfortable just even being there, like even existing in
Mm.
this neighborhood. In early June, which was a week after her mother, Miranda, requested this welfare check, school was out for the summer. And Lori had finished the 6th grade as an honor roll student, the only one in her math class to earn the top score on the state end of the year exam. And on the morning of June 3rd, Andrew came home from work to find his apartment empty and his daughter missing.
Oh, shit.
He called the police. He reported her missing. He told police nothing seemed out of the ordinary when he left for work on the evening of June 2nd. He said Lori's backpack was missing and she must have left home sometime overnight when he was at work.
Mm.
So, Tallahassee PD posted a missing persons flyer to its Facebook page, including a photo of Lori, who was described as a 5 foot tall, dark skinned black female with shoulder length black dreadlocks. And people started sharing the post. Although the Tallahassee PD said it would exhaust all options, that feels kind of like mumbo jumbo,
Mhm.
the Special Victims Unit detective leading the case said they didn't suspect any foul play. And she said everything is pointing to that she ran away voluntarily. So, Detective Anna Drake urged any friends, and it is fair, I will say, like, if she has run away before, especially from this home,
Yeah.
yes, I can understand that, like, you'd think, well, most likely, the
Mhm.
most easiest, or the most easiest, the easiest explanation is that she ran away again. Um, and it's summertime, like no
She
school.
got
So, yeah,
bored at home,
right,
something. Yeah.
right. It makes sense in a way. So Detective Anna Drake urged any friends who might be helping Lori, like they did with the food at the apartment complex, to step forward and say, like, hey, we know where she is. She also stated that any adults who might be helping Lori hide would be committing a crime and they should return Lori home immediately. So, authorities told Lori's school to send missing person flyers home to all of Lori's classmates' parents. Basically, like, if the idea being, if she's staying with a friend and she said, oh, my dad's totally fine with it,
Mhm.
and they didn't know,
Right.
that he had no clue where she was. But despite giving all these flyers out, nobody reported a single sighting of Lori after days. Miranda did not believe her daughter would run away for so long, and she started to get really frustrated and ask for more intervention and action from the police. And Lori's teachers stepped in as well and said, we agree that something is wrong, because 12 days after Lori disappeared, Margie Summers, the teacher from her school, reached out to a local pastor named Rudy Ferguson. And Rudy had never met Lori, but he was a member of the community and he felt like he had an obligation to her. So the two of them worked together, this teacher and this pastor from her neighborhood, from her area, to raise awareness about Lori and her disappearance, sort of more like grassroots,
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
see in a lot of these cases. So they worked with radio host Patty Wilson to get Lori's name out there, get her story on air. And then 14 days after Lori disappeared, Margie and Rudy went on camera for the local news. Rudy said he sent Lori's missing person flyers to more than 20 pastors in the Frontline Pastors Action Council, which the FPAC. I
FPAC.
don't
I was gonna
know
say a
what in the
council.
world. Council. He said it was their church's responsibility to be a voice in their communities. So
Mhm.
of Lori, he said, we ought to be her family. We ought to look for her consistently until she is safe and sound. And I just love that because he'd never met this girl. He
Yeah, he's
just
just
was
doing the right
like,
thing.
this person matters and we need to find her. Margie said that she hoped Lori would return to school. And there was summer school in session. And they began opening the doors Monday through Thursday for summer school. So they thought, oh, like surely she'll come in on a Monday
Right.
because she's safe here and she knows she can trust the teachers and we will take care of her, whatever. But no, she never showed. Um, Margie remained worried that something had happened because it was unlike her to be gone for so long. But in case she was listening, when on air, she said, Lori, you're a great student and a great kid. There is nothing that you haven't done well enough. Just come back.
Oh, God.
Just breaks my fucking heart. And so the community is demanding more action from authorities in the search for Lori, especially as like this grassroots campaign is kind of the only thing like getting the name out there. And detectives explained some of the hurdles they were facing in the case. And this is also like a really good point. Remember, I said she didn't have any social media.
Right.
And like, I guess detectives, which of course, but we don't often cover stories from like right now or, a couple years ago. And so it's interesting to hear like authorities said, hey, it's really hard to find a 12-year-old kid who doesn't use any social media,
Yeah.
And so they did actually discover she had made like kind of secret accounts like on Reddit and stuff, but she never used them and then would just delete them. So they
Mhm.
didn't offer any sort of clue. It wasn't like she was communicating with a friend or, with some
Right.
cases you hear like, oh, they made a friend online and like didn't tell their parents, but there was nothing like that. There was no presence. She had no online presence at all. And no phone. So it's like, how on earth are we going to figure out where she went? So detectives went to Lori's family to get more answers. Lori had been estranged from a lot of her family because her parents both had strained relationships with their families. So her extended family was like not in very much contact with her. So her grandma or great grandfather were like, we really don't know what to do. We don't know where she could be. Rumors went around that Lori's mom might have taken her back without telling anyone or like maybe secretly relocated her, but there was no evidence of this. And even after detectives subpoenaed all of Miranda's social media accounts, they found nothing to indicate she had done anything wrong. She did post and send messages about Lori's disappearance, but it was just, trying to find her daughter. It wasn't anything suspicious.
Mhm.
Miranda provided 2 Gmail accounts that belonged to Lori, and Google provided email records for those and found that Lori exclusively communicated with her mom. So, like, she didn't even email with friends. Like, she just used them to talk to her mom. And after her disappearance, there was not a single communication from her email.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's gotta be a red flag. So, some of Lori's family members said that Lori had felt neglected and unloved by her mother, which was why she might have run away in the past. And then some of Lori's classmates said, well, her life with her dad wasn't much better. One classmate said that Andrew often hit his daughter and
Mm.
once yelled at Lori and beat her with a belt at the
Oh,
school bus stop in
shit.
front of the other children.
I would run away.
Like,
That's fucking
humiliating. I mean,
yeah.
it's fucking evil. It's abuse. It's
Which if that's what
humiliation.
if that's something he's not afraid to do in
Uh-huh.
public, like,
Publicly.
what the hell's going on in the house?
Every time I hear something like that, I'm like, that's just the surface. Like,
Mhm.
that you don't behave that way in public and then not worse
Yeah.
behind closed doors. I totally agree. I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, that just gave me shivers. So that is what the kids are telling the police. Like, hey, she's not having, like, maybe she ran away from her mom in the past, but like her experience at her dad's is not much better. Um, and the thing about the bus stop is just like so fucking dark. Some of Lori's family members said she had experienced severe depression, feelings of worthlessness. She may have been capable of self harm. And so, of course, they're hearing that and they're thinking, well, now we have another angle to look at. Could she have been suicidal? And a social worker who once worked with Lori would later confirm that Lori had experienced suicidal thoughts and that she had described herself. This is so heartbreaking. She's 12 years old. She had described herself using words like evil, disrespectful, and hateful, which is like
Oh
you
my
repeat that
god.
from what you hear. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
that's just so to describe yourself. Like that's your
Yeah.
self talk as a 12-year-old.
And also, I don't know, obviously, but if you add that level of self-esteem, that lack of
Self
self-esteem,
loathing. Yeah.
on top of, like, your mom literally just saying, "I don't want you," um, and I don't know, like, did she have friends at school? It sounds like she kept to herself for the most part.
No, she had friends at school. She was definitely like had solid and strong relationships at school, which is why she would always end up at school and
Mhm.
try to avoid being home. Um, so that really was the only place that she had like a community, but she did have a community at school. And so it's just hard because it's like and then she got cut off from the work from that community at home.
Yeah, and,
Um
like, your mom not wanting you and your dad never being home. I mean,
yeah, I want to clarify too. I don't know that like the mom didn't want her. I just know like hey, she gave custody fully to the dad to say
oh, right,
I'm
something might have been going on that we
unable
don't
to
know
do
about.
custody. I don't know. I just don't know more details on that. So I don't know that specifically, but yeah, I mean, it has to be hard. Like either way, you've uprooted your life, you've moved to a new school, and you're trying your best to like regain some footing. And your dad's clearly harming you, abusing you. You're lonely. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like a recipe for disaster. So she would use these words. A social worker told detectives that she would use words like evil, disrespectful, hateful to describe herself. And of course, none of her teachers or friends or classmates would ever use those words. So there was like a little bit of dissonance there. Detectives continued to consider Lori a runaway, kind of now saying, okay, well, this is clearly an abusive home, and she ran away from an abusive home, and that's
Mhm.
why she ran away, which also I feel like is a fair assessment of the situation because it's happened in the past. But months passed, and Margie Summers continued to champion the search for Lori. And she felt that Lori wasn't getting the attention she deserved. This like a 12-year-old girl, she's still missing. And she's like,
Yeah.
we got to find her. Lori's mother was also angry that police didn't start doing grid searches or using dogs until months and even years after Lori disappeared. Rudy, Margie, teachers, and other members of the community organized searches. They did door to door canvases, just a lot more of that grassroots kind of searching. And Margie continued to talk to the media to get Lori's name out there. In one interview, she said, Lori's not going to disappear and doesn't matter. It matters to us. She's not going to disappear and us not do anything.
Mhm.
So 1 year after Lori disappeared, the Tallahassee Police Department told local reporters that they no longer used the word runaway on missing person flyers
Oh,
due to concerns that it would make community members less likely to take disappearances seriously. And I'm
sure.
like, thank God. Okay.
Hadn't even thought
And
about
like,
that. But yeah, if you hear runaway, part of you thinks, well, they wanted to leave, so why go looking for them or something?
yeah, yeah, runaway. And it's like, well, they're probably just with a friend. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
and
the
they're
implication of
fine.
runaway
We
is
just don't
like
know
they
where they
took a
are.
backpack and went somewhere and they're just hiding out,
Yeah.
and of course, like, they're still kids, so they should still be accounted for, and
Mhm.
but the wording, like, skews your perception of it, I think, like, in a way. It, like, makes it seem less serious even though it's still a minor who's missing,
That's
whether they
true.
ran away or not, and so, anyway, I just found that really interesting, and
Yeah.
1 year after Lori disappeared would have been 2023, so that's a pretty recent development. Um, so they decided that, the designation was not only was it potentially harmful to the recovery process of missing persons, it was also not significant. It didn't matter.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't matter whether they ran away. We need to find them. So detectives continued to urge anyone with information to come forward to help find Lori. And then in January 2024, Miranda, Lori's mom, posted to Facebook, "My baby is gone, broken heart
Oh
emoji."
my god.
She deleted it quickly. And when asked about the post, she said she felt in her soul that Lori was dead.
Oh.
And Lori had been missing for about a year and a half now. Police continued to canvass the neighborhood. They spoke to registered sex offenders in the area, and they just couldn't find any sort of lead as to who could have been involved in her disappearance, especially now that it's been a year and a half and there have been no activity on her email. There's been nothing. And
Mhm.
so, things are not looking good. During the investigation, Andrew moved to Thomasville, Georgia. That's her dad, 45 minutes north of Tallahassee. And detectives asked him whether there was anyone in his neighborhood back in Tallahassee that he thought might have harmed Lori. Like, is there anyone suspicious that
Right.
knew she would be home alone,
Yeah, could be overlook that Terry guy or
Right,
something?
exactly. Like, that feels like something important. And Andrew couldn't really think of anyone. And this is also really sad. They asked, like, oh, where would she hang out, or like, who are her friends? And he was like, I have no idea. Like,
Ugh.
he'd have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Where she wanted to go, where she liked to hang out. He didn't really know anything about her at all. And it's just really heartbreaking. So now we're all the way in February of 2024. A 5-mile grid search of the area where Lori was last seen created no leads, so police searched the area with cadaver dogs and divers searched nearby bodies of water. Nothing, nothing. The FBI and the Tallahassee Police Department then began a billboard campaign advertising a $15,000 reward in the search for Lori. Then we're in late February 2024. Tallahassee police worked with the Thomasville authorities. Thomasville is where Andrew moved 45 minutes north,
Mm.
or 45 miles, um, 45 minutes north of Tallahassee. And so Tallahassee police reached out to Thomasville police and they executed a search warrant at Andrew's house. They also seized and processed Andrew's vehicle and they found blood on the
Oh.
carpet.
Ugh. Okay. Wow.
The blood was confirmed in laboratory testing to belong to his daughter, Lori. They also found a handgun in the vehicle and a spray bottle containing a cleaner with a label that advertised its specific ability to clean and remove blood.
Man.
Why did he still have that in his car?
Yeah. I'm like
First of all,
not to
I mean,
make light of
obviously,
this, but like
like,
rookie mistake.
why the fuck are you leaving that in your car?
You
And
got
also,
this far
like,
and that's what you're gonna get busted on?
fucking
Like,
hell. How stupid can people be? I mean, that's just sick.
mm,
So they did confirm it was her blood, and clearly he had bought specific blood removing cleaning supplies. They, of course, then seized his electronic devices, and some of the devices had been wiped clean or even dismantled. And he'd recently replaced his computer, and they couldn't find it anywhere.
mm,
So, on the devices that they were able to recover, thankfully, investigators found that on June 1st, 2022, 2 days before Andrew reported Lori missing, 2 days before
mm,
he reported her missing, he searched online, quote, "bad neighborhood Tallahassee, Florida,
of course.
Apalachicola National Forest dead body," and this. Where do police look to find missing kids?
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Guilty as sin. Oh my
Guilty
god.
as fucking sin. He also visited a Quora page, which is like that kind of WikiHow adjacent, like you like ask
Yeah,
questions on
yeah.
Quora. And a user asked, why would police stop looking for a missing child, saying the delay of the search is based on where they are in the investigation, comma, wouldn't they still need to find the child? Like, I don't even
How,
quite know what that
me either, but
means.
also like what a
What
specific
is
like
exactly?
so specific and yet I don't understand at all.
It's like that's damning. I don't even know what it means,
Yeah,
but it sounds
damning. Yeah.
damning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Andrew also searched for driving directions to several bodies of water in Georgia and Alabama, and then detectives were able to thankfully use pings on cellular towers, and they were able to track Andrew's phone on the date, like his movements on the day of June 2nd,
Okay.
2022. He had traveled to a rural wooded area in Thomas County, Georgia, on a plantation where people went to hunt quail. And that same day, weird, he purchased a one-way ticket from Florida to Puerto Rico.
Girl, come on.
As I know, as if he intended to leave the country, but police he didn't, obviously. He moved 45 minutes north, but anyway, okay. That same day, he purchased a ticket. Police searched that wooded area in Georgia extensively with cadaver dogs, but they found nothing. But in
Hmm.
April, there was a prescribed burn of the area for ecological
Sure, sure.
management. Like they intentionally set a controlled blaze to
Yes.
yeah. So after this kind of monitored burn, the fire cleared the brush in the area and revealed human skeletal remains.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, finally they were able to locate the body of Lori Page. It was April 11th, 2024. Police reported that Lori's remains were discovered within 30 meters or 98 feet approximately of where Andrew's cell phone pinged in June of 2022. So, obviously it's fucking him. He's arrested, he's charged with second-degree murder in connection with Lori's death, but before he could stand trial, he died in June 2025, like a couple months ago, of a pulmonary embolism at only 36 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
Stress
Andrew's
got to him.
brother's I guess so. And Andrew's brother, I don't know how pulmonary embolisms work, but Andrew's brother said that he maintained his innocence to his death. Margie, the teacher, was in shock, of course, when she found out Lori had passed. She said, I still just think she's alive and I want to go find her.
Yeah.
And then she said, the words Lori and remains just don't go together at all. And
Yeah.
that's just shattering. Rudy Ferguson, the pastor who had like spearheaded the effort to find her, had held on to hope that she'd be discovered somewhere unexpected, safe and sound. But of course, the truth was so much worse. They did hold a memorial service to honor her life, and Rudy said, we want to make sure that her memory doesn't stay there in the woods. That can't be her resting and last place.
Hmm.
More than 100 adults and children gathered to remember Lori, which just like, speaking of juxtaposing, that against her like empty email account, no like social media,
Like only
no
texting her mom
contact.
or
It's just really poignant and hard. So her mother, who remained very private throughout the search, did not attend, but she sent a statement to be read by one of the memorial organizers. And the statement said, we honor Lori by carrying forward her light, choosing compassion over despair, and holding each other with the same warmth that she gave to us so freely.
hmm.
And I was like, damn, it's like you hear of just like such a beautiful, sensitive, like soul,
Who just wanted to
child.
do good and just wanted to like be
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
community and just wanted
Yeah.
to work hard and
It's like the ultimate just slap in the face by the universe, It just feels like
yeah.
existential dread. I don't know, man. Um,
And
anyway,
so we
so way to
never because he always claimed innocence, we have no reason for why he even did it. If
no, I
allegedly.
just allegedly. Yeah, he was arrested for it, died before being put on trial, so I guess innocent until proven guilty. It just sure doesn't look good, and he was an abuser, so it's like who knows why. I
Yeah.
don't think that we could probably ever find a real reason. It sounds like he was already beating her,
Mhm.
harming her physically.
Yeah.
Just sick anyway. So that's my day, my way to ruin your day and my own day.
Oh, ruined. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening to another episode of And That's Why We Drink. Sorry to bum you out. I will continue to bring up uncomfortable topics in our yappy hour as I show you really, really haunted photos of dead people.
I'm excited
So
to try to figure out a crime or ooh and ah, whichever you prefer.
okay, great.
Figure out a crime. Figure out just who
I
they
was
are.
like, I don't think I'm going to be offering that as a
Although,
possibility.
if I do figure out a crime about them, that would be
I was
juicy.
going to say that's a really high expectation of the random batch of photos I have, but you never know.
You never know. There is a photo somewhere of someone who's
That
involved
could
in a
solve
crime.
a mystery.
And I could be the lead detective on that starting today. We'll find out.
And you've always said that.
I've always said that. And
That's
why
we
drink.